Yo, what's up, y'all? We're back here with another live stream. You already know the effing vibes. And we're on time, so congratulations. It's a first for everything, you know? Usually I'm not on time, so. Anyways, I'm gonna keep my hat like this because I really don't care. But we are gonna see what's trending on YouTube as of right now. Because, wow, Mr. Beast is. And this is the lowest amount of views he's ever gotten in a video. I think, I don't want to click on his video.
I don't normally do intros like this, but I'm...
Okay. Look at this. 156 million. Oh, he's going, like, see, 156 million. And then damn, that's a drastic decrease. So maybe YouTube is stop pushing him out.
I don't normally do intros like this, but I'm currently descending hundreds of feet into a cave that runs...
But you can't lie. His videos are one of a kind. Like, look at that. That's literally, like, what you would see in the movie. So, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, what he's doing is crazy work. Like, there's too many allegations, and some of the fact you haven't spoken up, but you're still producing content. And then the simple fact is half of the people that used to work for you is now speaking out, but then the people that are clearly still working for you, like, are they working under bad conditions? Like, I don't even know. Or did you have them sign NDAs? Like, because if you're still producing videos, that means people are still working for you. But it's just like, if the rumors are true, how are people still working for you? But it kind of makes sense because you know that you got to feed their kids. You probably gave them, like, higher raise or something. Uh-huh. I'm trying to see, what should we... I guess let's watch it. Oh, wait, hold up. Let's watch this.
Today I'm going to summarize another book on...
And we're going to watch this for some factors. I love you want to eat my food. You already know I have food today. So, 6 on unethical psychological tricks that should be illegal. Slash Robert... I can't say his last name. So, and this is by Little Bit Better. You feel me? So, let's see. Let's see what the hype is about. Well, not hype, but let's see what psychological traits, you know, we can't get rid of. Or we can't, like, oversee.
Today I'm going...
Oh, and before we get into today's video, you guys already know, today I have eggs with red and yellow peppers and cut up slices of bacon. More specifically, turkey bacon. Yeah, I know some of you are going to be like, gross. And then I also have sliced up dragon fruit. This shit is bomb. So I'm not going to lie. But, with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
I'm going to summarize another book on psychology called Persuasion. Honestly, the more books I read on psychology, the more I get scared, because it makes me realize how easy it is to manipulate someone. The scariest part is that most of these tactics you will hear in this video are so hidden that your conscious mind can't catch them. It happens subconsciously. They are a bit like a magic pill. You give it to someone before you talk to them, and they start believing you or behaving differently. They feel like they are in control and made a conscious decision, but they are not. For example, in an experiment, they sent a very good-looking guy, a model type of guy, to approach a random woman in the shopping mall and ask for their number on a date. Now, giving your phone number to a complete stranger is a risky thing to do, and of course, the guy got a lot of no's, but he got quite some yeses whenever he approached a woman in front of a particular store. Can you guess what type of store it was? No, it wasn't a perfume store or a chocolate store. It was a flower store. If you look at it, flowers are related to romance, and it subconsciously impacted their behavior and caused them to give out their number. After the experiment, they asked the participants who gave their numbers if the store had anything to do with their decision. All responded, "Of course not. I made a conscious decision to give my number." In a similar experiment, again, a guy approached a woman on the street asking for...
I'm not gonna lie, that actually kind of makes sense because in my marketing class, my teacher was explaining how if you smell like a certain type of scent in a store, it makes you want to buy more products related to that scent. And that's why stores they'll have freshly baked like blueberries, muffins and stuff, because the scent of that aroma will make you want to go towards it and be like, okay, maybe, or it may want you want to like buy something in that category in that sense, like, or remind you like, oh, I'm running out of like blah blah blah, so let me go get that, even though you probably still have a lot of it at home, if that makes sense.
For a date. This time, researchers were testing how the results would change depending on the object the guy was carrying in his hand at the time he approached the women. There was one particular object that brought a lot of yeses. Can you guess what that object was? Well, it was a guitar case. Let's look at another example from the business world. There's an interesting experiment with an online furniture store. Researchers directed half of the buyers to a landing page that had soft clouds on the background image, and half of the buyers were directed to a page that had pictures of coins. People who had clouds as a background picture focused their attention on choosing furniture based on softness and comfort, and the people who saw coins as the first thing when they visited the page focused on price and tried to find the cheapest options. After the experiment, when they were asked if the coins or clouds played a role in their decision, all of them laughed and said no. They said they are all independent and conscious people. Clouds or coins had absolutely no impact on them. Okay, so far both of the experiments were related to some visual objects. How about using words? Can we create the same effect but with words? The answer is yes, and here's how. A salesperson was failing to sell his $75,000 product. Whenever he would mention the price, many clients would try to negotiate, and when they couldn't get the lower price they wanted, they would just walk away. This way, the salesperson would lose a lot of clients. Then he made a small change. During his presentation, before mentioning the price, he would jokingly say, "Well, obviously I can't charge you $1 million for this product." Whenever he mentioned this sentence, almost no one tried to negotiate the price or complained that $75,000 was a lot of money. Why? Because $75,000 seemed quite a small amount compared to $1 million. And yes, I absolutely agree with you that jokingly mentioning $1 million has nothing to do with the $75,000 product, and it shouldn't change people.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna use that for mine. Because I have a photography business and stuff, so when people talk about the price, I'm gonna be like, well, obviously I can't charge $100,000. So then when I charge my price, it's like, oh, okay. That's smart. Y'all can use that in your business too. If any of you guys have businesses, see if it works. You can literally test the theory yourself just to see if the YouTuber was right.
People's behavior, but that's not the reality. The reality is that subconsciously it impacted people's perception of the price. In an experiment, marketers wanted the customers to test a new energy drink to give them feedback. Many people didn't agree, which is kind of understandable because the product was new and this could create resistance. So marketers tried another tactic. This time, before making the request, they asked people if they considered themselves to be adventurous people. Many of them said yes, they were adventurous. And then when they were offered to try out the new energy drink, they agreed. I would like to give you an example that happened to me personally. Once I was meeting with a banker and somehow we ended up talking about the investment products they were offering. He described a few products, but none of them got my attention, so I was half listening and half thinking about when I was going to leave. But then before describing the next product, he said something that made me wake up, lean forward, and listen carefully. He said, "The next product I'm going to talk about is the one that I would recommend even to my mother to invest in." As soon as I heard this sentence, I felt strong trust towards him and the product. Probably not on purpose, but he activated one of the most powerful persuasion principles that Robert Cialdini calls unity. Unity refers to a shared identity that both the influencer and the influencee are part of. The idea that we share an identity with someone else causes us to want to say yes to them, to a much greater extent than to someone.
And if you're if you're a really good salesperson, you can do that with a lot of your products and everything, and it can make shit. You can sell a shit ton of stuff. Like if you're on commission, you can make a lot of commission. As soon as a customer or a client, or whatever like job you do, as soon as someone trusts you, whatever you say is word. Like, they're going with it. And especially if you have proof to the pudding, like you've already done some work for them that shows what type of like person, what type of worker, what type of boss you are. Oh yeah. From there on, you're literally set. And they'll literally buy anything. You can look at it in retail too. When someone sells someone a pair of shoes, and they do it because they trust the kicks that the guy got on. You don't want to go to Foot Locker and the guy's wearing Skechers and then he's trying to sell you a pair of Jordans. You're going to look at him a little like, what do you know about shoes? You feel me?
Someone who's outside that unit. If a communicator can show that he or she belongs to the same group as we are before delivering the message, then we are much more open to cooperating with that person or believing him or her. Let me give an example. A big concern of investors has always been what happens to Buffett's firm, Berkshire Hathaway, when he's no longer in charge. In a letter to shareholders regarding succession plans, Buffett wrote, "I will tell you what I would say to my family today if they asked me about Berkshire's future." With that language, Buffett was highly convincing because he said he was advising readers in the same way he would advise a family member. The most powerful form of unity is in the family. People go to great lengths, even risking their lives, to help close relatives. Robert shows you how you can use family-driven unity even when you are trying to influence people who aren't your own relatives.
Now that's a great tip and trick you can use in real life. They said mention family, a lot of people gonna jump. That, you know what's crazy is they're not lying. Because I know somewhere out there, and y'all, some of y'all can relate to this if you have a family, to be honest, or even if you have friends that you feel like that are family. You got people in your family that were bent over backwards, and you got people in your family that look the other way. Then you got people in your family that will always put the other family members above them, and you just look at them like, when are you gonna grow? When are you gonna be the person you're supposed to be? Because what people fail to realize is like, it's cool and all, but if you are always helping out people, whether it's your family, a random, or like who it is, when are you gonna be able to grow and walk and continue forward? You can't. Because you're always helping out other people. When you're about to take that step, you step into someone else's light and help them out go forward. So how are you supposed to keep going? Like, where's your lane? You're not even creating one.
In one of his college classes, Robert wanted students and their parents to fill out a questionnaire. Student compliance was always very high, but parents typically responded at a far lower rate, often below 20%. One small tweak increased the parent response rate to 97%. What was the simple tweak? Robert said he would give the students an extra point on one test if their parents completed the survey. 1 point on one test in a semester-long course is an inconsequential benefit. It would be unlikely to have any impact at all on the student's final grade. But by invoking the concept of helping a family member, he increased the response rate 5-fold. From poor to nearly perfect. Implications of these studies and examples are huge. This means if I can shift your attention to, let's say, helpfulness, fairness, or romance before I deliver my message, then at that moment, you become a helpful, fair, or romantic person. In other words, by using the persuasion tactics, I can change your identity in that particular situation. I can change.
This is fucking crazy.
Who you are. I can change how you perceive yourself, and I can change how you perceive me and my message. This next experiment is pretty impressive and will
Bro, this is literally crazy because she's actually speaking facts, I'm not gonna lie. Personally though, I also feel like this is for regular people, because I don't feel like I'm easily persuaded. Like, it depends what I'm thinking at the time in their environment. Because like, if I'm near a flower shop and someone asks me out, I would say no because I'm in a relationship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just, it's not because I'm near a flower shop or if you would have met me somewhere else. It's still no. And then there's just, like, your sexual preference. Like, some people like boys, girls like girls. Like, then there's that. Then there's other people like other things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's so many to factor in, I feel like. But I could see how helpfulness, fairness, and romance does play a factor. But like I said, I feel like it's for, like, not a specific group, but a certain type of group, if that makes sense.
Explain why we get influenced so easily. In Belgium, researchers brought a group of people together and showed them a picture of a household object, but with a different background image. They divided the people into 3 groups. In the background picture of the first group, there was a single person standing alone. The second group's background picture had 2 people standing next to each other separately. Finally, in the third group's background picture, there were 2 people standing shoulder to shoulder. Now, during the experiment, researchers stood up and accidentally dropped several items on the floor in order to find out who of these 3 groups would get down on their knees and help. Both from the first and second groups, only 20% of people helped. But the results were 3 times higher in the third group, who had a background image of 2 people standing shoulder to shoulder. Now, this isn't the most interesting part of the experiment. The most interesting part is that the subjects of this experiment were only 18-month-old children who had no logical reasoning and could barely talk. This experiment proves how...
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. They did it with children? Like, you can't even... I don't know, that's crazy. They did it with children. Oh no. That's just like, I don't know. That's just like, wow.
Primitive and fundamental this process is, and why subconsciously every single one of us can easily be influenced, regardless of the level of logic or intelligence. For example, research shows that if you simply put a picture of a thinking man in the corner of the screen while they do a task, they become more analytical and make fewer mistakes. Or if you put the picture of a person winning a race, then they produce more. It positively affects their results. Now, let's see in real life how we can apply what we learned from these experiments. I have 6 practical tips for you, but first I'd like to give you one analogy that will summarize everything we covered so far and also make it very easy for you to understand the central lesson of these experiments. Imagine you are planting a seed. If you want the seed to grow and bear fruits, you need to do 2 things right. Number 1, choose a good quality seed. Number 2, prepare the soil right. If the soil isn't prepared, well, then the seed isn't going to grow, regardless of how good quality your seed is. Using this analogy, we can say that the seed is the message you use to convince others. And this book and all the experiments and examples you have heard so far are about preparing the soil. What you say to persuade is important, but what you put in front of your message before it's delivered is sometimes more important. In other words, your seed is important, but first you have to make sure that the soil is brought to the right condition to grow that seed. You saw this yourself in all the experiments. There was always a sentence, a request, or a picture that came before the message was delivered, which completely changed people's behavior. All right, let's move on to those 6 tips I mentioned earlier. Number 1, if you are giving away a free product to your clients, you might consider giving the product to their family members instead of the clients themselves. That can be more effective. Remember the experiment with students and parents and how 1 point increased their response rate? Number 2, let's say you have a product and you need your clients' help to improve it. Instead of saying, "What is your feedback?" or "What is your opinion on this product?" you can say, "What's your advice on this product?" The difference seems small, but the effect is quite big because the word advice creates unity. It creates a togetherness effect. The word advice makes people take 1 step forward towards you, and the word opinion or feedback makes them take 1 step backward away from you. As you have probably already guessed, this one is related to the concept of unity. Remember the Warren Buffett example and my meeting with the banker? Number 3, if you are planning to ask for a salary raise at work, then do it at a time when you have received nice feedback from customers or when you have achieved something great at work. This is the time when the results of your great work are in the center of attention. This tip is related to the energy drink experiment. Number 4, if you're...
I'm not gonna lie, that last tip was very beneficial and I had no idea. So when, I feel like if you like win an award or something, or like something, you do something amazing, right then and there you should just ask for a raise. That's the smartest shit ever. Like, I've never thought about that. Then again, I haven't worked in a minute. Well, I haven't worked a 9 to 5. I work for myself. It'd be hard sometimes. But, you know, it's an entrepreneur lifestyle. It's going to pay off, though. I just actually recently seen a quote where I just actually recently seen a TikTok where it explained two different quotes by a man, and it was Abraham Lincoln's quote, which was like, I guess, not fully thought out because of his time or his age at that time. Maybe he created it, but he was pretty much saying that you have to prepare for your he was like you have to prepare for your time, and perhaps it may come, right? And when I heard that, I was just like, what, bro? My time is coming regardless. Like, I'm gonna eat regardless. That's how that's my mindset. Like, it's gonna come regardless. So then the other dude, the second quote, he was just pretty much saying, which me and him had a similar thought, was there was like supposedly like this other dude said, you should prepare for your time because it's gonna come if you're prepared or not. But if you're prepared for your time, it shows you who you are. Like, it reveals who you are. Like, are you true to what you've been preaching, or are you a con artist? Like, pretty much, like, what do you have to show for it? And then the guy on the TikTok, which when he explained the two quotes, is he took it an even step further and said, what's it called? Is you preparing gonna be an expose of what you've been working on and pretty much your life's work, or is it gonna be trash? Like, there's gonna be nothing to show for it. And for me, I feel like your time is coming regardless. Now, are you prepared for it? And if you are prepared for it, you can then take yourself to the next level. You feel me? Obviously with the help of others, but because you already prepared for it, you have a sense of direction of, okay, boom, this is the next step to go to. Because I already completed the first step, which I knew it was going to come. It's just when. But now that it has, it's like, okay, boom, I can do this, I can do that. Students and trying
to convince other students to donate to some cause, you can mention that you are also a student, and that would automatically activate the unity principle and increase donations. Again, this one is also related to the unity principle.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I actually use that in real life. As soon as I tell people I'm a college student, they're like, oh, okay, really? And then how much do you need? Or da-da-da. Like, it's crazy. It's low-key crazy. Like, that's dead-ass true. You tell that you're a student, bro, people understand.
Number 5. Decorate your environment according to your goals. Until reading books like this one, I used to believe that it was stupid to write motivational phrases or words on office walls. You've probably seen such phrases such as courage, success, winning, quality, customer first, etc. It turns out that these things actually work and impact us subconsciously. So think about what the things are that you're trying to achieve and how you can.
You know what's crazy is, what's it called? This is actually true too. Some of this stuff they're saying I actually do already. And the reason why I said this is because, like, during college, I decided that instead of, like, creating my room just to be, like, a regular room and, like, dazzling it all up, I decided to make it fulfilled of, like, quotes and my goals and, like, my vision board and stuff. And, like, after the 4 years where I see myself, you feel me? So this year I decided to take it a step further, and I'm not going to tell you guys the idea, but I just have an amazing idea for how my room is going to look. And I just want to say, this shit is, like, in my head it looks dope. I just hope it comes out looking dope. Because, like, in my head it's like, it's dope as fuck. Like, okay. But, and the reason why I say this is because this girl pretty much just said what I was already thinking. Decorate your environment according to your goals. Like, that's for a fact.
You can decorate your room to put you in that state of mind. For example, when my goal was to make $10,000 per month, I went on Amazon and bought a fake $10,000 stack and put it on my desk to remind me of my goal. When I wanted to invest more, I printed out a phrase that said, "Make money work for you," framed it as a picture and put it on my desk. You can also do small things, such as changing the background picture on your phone or computer. You can listen to different types of music according to the type of work you're doing. If the task requires you to be highly focused, just Google music for focus and listen to it while working on that task. For example, before I start writing scripts such as this one, I always watch a video from my favorite YouTuber. I like his videos because they're high quality and he can explain complex topics in a very simple way. Just passively playing some of his videos before I start writing.
Nah, bro, she's blew my mind. She's speaking facts, and I'm gonna use some of this stuff. That was the $10,000 on the desk. Is the smartest I ever thought. Like, well, I said I ever thought of. Whoa, she ever thought of. Correction. That's mad smart. Like, that's taking it to the. Wow, that's taking it to the next level for real.
writing scripts puts me into the right mindset where I'm also focused on quality and simplicity. Number 6, bring the person to the right mindset before you deliver your message. Let me explain with an example. Once I wanted to convince one of my colleagues to do things differently in our project. Both of us knew that this change would be great for the project. However, he simply didn't want to do it because it would mean extra work for him. Especially at the time we had a few other arguments in previous days, so he was in a mindset where he would just disagree with whatever I suggested. So, after 2 failed attempts to convince him, I tried a tactic from this book, and it worked. What did I do differently this time? Well, before I opened the topic, I said this. I said, "Do you remember 3 months ago, you suggested a change that I disagreed with, but since it was for the benefit of the project, I agreed to do it?" He said yes. I said, "Okay, today, thanks to that change you suggested, we have great improvements in our project. At the time, I was against it, but I agreed to what you suggested because it was best for the project. It wasn't about you nor about me. It was about what is best for the project. Now today I'm asking you for a change and we both know that it's the best thing for the project. So what do you say we both put our egos aside and implement the change I'm suggesting?" He thought a little bit and said yes. And that was the end of the story. The reason this worked was that I shifted his mindset from arguing to doing what was best for the project. Think about your life. You probably have also had similar situations. What are the things you can say or do before you deliver your message to bring the person to the right mindset so that he or she would be more receptive to your message? Do you need the person to be fair, romantic, honest, or cooperative? Define what it is that you want, find a sentence or thing that would put the person in that mindset, and then deliver your message. And of course, do it ethically, not just this tactic, but all of them. You might ask, what will happen if I don't do it ethically? For example, what would happen if you decide to use them unethically in your company against your customers? Well, your employees will see what you are doing and they will start using the same sneaky techniques against their own customer, which is you. So it's highly likely to backfire. One more thing. Always keep in mind that you are not immune to such tactics and can be easily influenced. For example, a friend or colleague might mention a small favor they did for you before they ask for a big favor. Mentioning the small favor will put you in a mindset where you will feel a strong urge to help them back. Helping others who helped us is deeply coded into our DNA, and it's very hard to fight against it. If the favor they ask is equal to the favor they did for us, then all is good. But sometimes they use their small favor as bait to get you to agree to something much larger. So in situations, don't give an answer right away. Take your time. Tell them that you'll think about it and let them know your decision. If you rush it, you are highly likely to agree to their request and then regret it. This has happened to me personally multiple times. I have agreed to do things that I regretted later. Finally, my goal with this video was, number 1, to increase awareness about the weaknesses every single one of us possesses so that we can protect ourselves. And number 2, show you ways you can apply them ethically to your life, job, or your business.
That was a great video. Some of that stuff actually really helped me out a lot. Not even gonna hold you. Alright, with that being said though, you guys already know the vibes. We're gonna test out this game again. We're gonna see if it works or what's gonna happen. Hopefully it doesn't glitch while I play it. But you know, it do be in that phase a little, so. Okay, EA Sports. To the game. That's how you know I play it a lot. Who? Alright, y'all. We gotta go crazy.
EA Sports showcase of the best young players in the world of golf. From Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida, it's opening round coverage of the event.
I'm already screwed, bro.
We've got a full field ready to get rolling on this Thursday as we get a look at the early leaderboard. We're looking at a tie at the top.
I need to get like a...
So out to the action we go as we'll pick things up on the tee at the par 5 12.
That was as straight as it could be, low-key.
So often we talk about needing precision off the tee, and this is how you do it. That is dead center. Now from way back, better than 300 yards, the second to the par 5.
Sorry, y'all, I'm looking at something. I hit it a little over. I was like, yeah.
But just a good solid shot right there with that 3-wood frame. That's an aggressive layout, really trying to force that 3-wood down and get it as close as possible to the green.
Okay, so this is a 60 degree, so the 60 degree just, it lands flat, low-key. But now it's just like, do I want to put it over or under? Okay. Oh! No. Yeah, it's about to be a long putt.
Maybe not what you're hoping for.
Just to confirm, you could use the washer.
No damage, it's on the green.
Yeah.
Well, that one's a good look. Now this is a birdie.
This is a
Say it's the toughest putt in golf. There's not a lot to it. I think you can take that in.
Oh my gosh, bro. Me and this putt. It's like a long putt.
5 feet left.
This is fake as... This is so fake.
That's short. One is it? The putts on line. Come on, show it. So it's a hole. That's in for bogey at 12.
I'm screwed, bro.
Down to even par. Frank, this is an interesting hole. It's a par 4 13, and it isn't necessarily a driver off the tee or the options. If you break it down, 250 off the tee is 120. There's nothing wrong with playing the hole that way. You're a little over-ambitious here, and running out of fairway. That second shot out of water. Whoa.
Oh, shoot. Yep.
And I don't think she's going to be too happy with that. This is into the bunker off the tee. So now she's looking at a tough second here. Out of the sand.
Oh, shit.
That is started right, and that is trouble. Oh, and she will not be happy with that, as that is into the water. So now she'll take the drop, and when you add in the penalty stroke, she'll set up for shot number 4 here. And that'll do just fine.
Damn, bro.
Okay, so that one finished off with double bogey. She'll fall now to
I can't.
Well, as they say on tour, Bay Hill has a good set of par 3s. Here's the 14th. It's 200.
Now, hold up, y'all.
yards. There are those
I'm not too worried.
left and long. Stay out of those, and you have a good chance to put 3 down on the card.
Oh, that went a little. Yup. 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 I had a feeling.
And that will be too much fun. It's into one of those 2 bunkers over the back of this 14th green. Now, be careful of this ball checking up too soon. It's going to try to get this just right.
Holy moly.
Right, landed it on the green. It was never going to stop. No, no chance. Safely in. And it's a bogey here at 14.
Yeah, I keep getting one over. We're gonna have to run this back. I'm not even gonna lie, because I keep getting one over.
Frank deep and around at the 15. You need to maybe make something happen. How difficult is that with such a huge dog like that?
Once again, make sure you know the distance to carry the bunker or run out. You've got to play to your strength.
I hit it over. It was perfect, but it's going in the bunker.
Yeah, tried to cut the corner there, but it's not going to work. That is into the fairway bunker here at 15. A lot of distance to carry here for her second out of the bunker.
Oh, that was a great shot.
And this is not going to get there, but it will find a safe spot between the 2 front bunkers here at 15.
It's just like...
Okay, not too bad there. Now a 7-footer.
Damn. That was sad.
Here at the 15. And that's going to drop her down to 4 over par.
I'm getting dropped.
These 4 days are going to be a grind. That's the nature of Q School. But day 1, Frank, it's in the books.
Yeah, day 1 of 4, Rich, but it's cutthroat. It's basically pass or fail. There's nothing else.
Till next time, for our entire cast and crew, I'm Rich Lerner. This has been a presentation of EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. So long, everybody.
That's crazy. I just see the snap. Someone go, is that Drake? Oh, yeah.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to bring you this showcase of the best young players in the world of golf. From Arnie's Place, Bay Hill Pub and Lodge in Orlando, today it's second-round coverage of
Okay.
Q School. But if we see more of what we witnessed yesterday, we're in for a heck of a battle these next 3 days as we show you the current leaderboard here on this Friday. Some good names up there, including our leader. So let's get out to the course as we join the action on the tee at the par 5 fourth.
Damn.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with a drive, now in the rough.
This is back into the fairway, but it's going to require a much longer approach shot than you'd really hope to have on a par 5.
No! Stop it! Damn, it's too much about it.
Pop to pop. 14 feet to the hole.
This is fucking crazy.
Go a bit. Okay, that's still going to be a good 4 feet though coming back. That's what happens when things are going poorly, right? You don't take your time and it costs you another stroke. She'll finish that off as that is in for a double bogey.
That was ass. Okay.
Now, plus 5.
I think I'm starting to get it. Okay, I think I'm starting to get it, y'all. So you literally want to end up on the fairway. And you want to end up on the fairway because if you end up in a rough, it doesn't matter what club you swing with, it automatically takes away distance because of how rough it is to swing. So, bunker.
He's got this one started up the right side.
Yes, fairway.
Second shot straight ahead, and we go to Iona Stevens.
We're looking at 131 yards left to the flag, and the pin on the back portion in the left-hand side of this green.
I curved it.
This one looks right on point.
Oh. I knew to use a 9-iron.
It's a decent sized ring. It's not bad. Just a little past the hole.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, that's a good stroke. Just a fraction off target. You can't get the speed any better than that. That one you finished off. It is a part leader 5. And she'll remain at 5 over. The part 5-6, this is the signature hole here at Bay Hill. How important, Frank, is the line off of this tee?